I'm sharing the screen now, okay?
Mom, so we're going to do 3.0 exercise discussion now.
Yes, of course, if somebody has a doubt here, we have to discuss. Okay, so this is what you're saying, Charantej?
Yes, ma'am.
1, 2, and 3, these three parts.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One second. Okay, consider the following parallelograms. Find the value of the unknowns x, y, z. Okay, you have to find the values of x, y, and z. So one angle is given to you 100. So see about the parallelogram properties, we studied the property that in a parallelogram, the sum of adjacent angles is 180 degrees. Is that? It's supplementary. Did we do that?
Yes,
Property?
Yes, ma'am.
You remember all the properties of a parallelogram? The adjacent angles. Adjacent are those angles which have a common, which share a common arm. Like suppose 100 and angle Z. They are sharing a common arm. B and angle C, they are sharing a common arm. C and D, they are sharing a common arm. B and A, they are sharing a common arm. That means these two angles are adjacent. Okay. And the sum of these two angles are supplementary. The supplementary means they make their sum total is 180 degrees. You must have done the property here. See here. The adjacent angles in a parallelogram are supplementary. It's underlined here, no? We had done this. Adjacent angles in a parallelogram are supplementary. Okay. So if they are supplementary, then if this is 100, then this will be 80. Okay. We also know that opposite angles are equal, and here also you can see the adjacent angles 100 and 80, and also we can see opposite angles are also equal, so this will be 80. Okay, right? And here also I can say opposite angles are equal, so if this is 100, this will also be 100, right? Yes, Charan Tej?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now
Yes,
same way, let's see here, this angle is given to us, that's 50 degrees. Okay, this is again a parallelogram, opposite angles have to be equal. So if this is 50, this will also be 50. They are forming a 50 and Z are forming a linear pair. So that means this angle will be 130. Okay. And then what about these two angles? Now these are adjacent angles. Now suppose these are adjacent angles in a parallelogram. So if this is 50, this will be 130 only, no? Right? There are many other ways to, find the angles. If I extend this line in a parallelogram, I know that opposite sides are parallel. If I extend these lines, now this becomes a transversal. Transversal means a line that cuts the parallel line. So if this angle is 180, 130, this angle will also be 130. Okay. Or you can say the adjacent angles in a parallelogram are 180. So if this is 50, then this is 130. Yes, Charantej? Similarly, opposite angles are equal. So if angle X is also 130 degrees, right?
Understood.
We got angles X, Y, Z. Okay, now let's come to this part. Okay, now this angle is 30 is given here. Okay, the inside angle is given here. See, this is shown like this. When you have this square line shown here, no? This means the angle here is 90 degrees. So if this angle is 90 degrees, that means this is one quadrant of an angle. So that means all other angles here at the center are all 90 degrees. So I can say X is 90 degrees. I can say that.
Mom?
Yes.
Mom, I didn't understood. Mom, could you explain again?
Can you see this? If something is written like this is always, normally we write for angle like this curved line. But if something is written like this means it's 90 degrees. Okay, it's symbolically written in mathematics.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that means if one angle is 90, that means it ought to have all other angles also 90 degrees.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so same way I can say that this angle X is 90 degrees here. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
can I see that? Now you
Yes,
know
ma'am.
if I take this triangle, if I take this triangle, I know that sum of all angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. This angle is 30, this angle is 90, that means 90 plus 30 is 120. So that means this angle Y will be 60 degrees. Is it? So that the
Yes,
sum
ma'am.
total of the triangle becomes 180. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Understood this? Okay,
Yes.
now coming to this angle, how to find this angle Z. Now see, as I said, if I these are parallel lines. No? This is a parallelogram, means opposite sides are all parallel. So if I extend these lines like this and I have a line passing through this, you must have studied in your class 7th parallel lines and transversal. Have you studied? A line that intersects the parallel lines is called a transversal line.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And you have some angles with that. Yes? Have you studied that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I've extended this line. I'm supposed to extend this line. Suppose if I extend this line, why I'm extending this? Because this angle is formed with this line. So I have to extend this line. Okay, so if I extend this line and this is this transversal which is cutting the two parallel lines, I can say that alternate interior angles. These are alternate interior angles, no? If these are two parallel lines cut by a transversal, so these angles become alternate interior angles. Oh, sorry, alternate is like this. Alternate interior angles, this angle and this angle, is it? So that is angle Y and angle Z. So alternate interior angles are equal. Yes.
Yes.
Have you studied about this property in parallel lines?
Yes, ma'am.
Alternate interior angles are equal. So that means if this is 60, then this angle is also 60 degrees. If this Y is 60, then this angle Z is also 60 degrees. Okay, you know about all the angles in parallel lines. These are alternate interior angles. These are interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Okay. And what else you have in parallel lines? These are angles are corresponding angles. Okay. There were many other properties of parallel lines formed with the transversal. Right?
Ma'am,
Yes.
so in the fourth one, X will be 100 and Y will be 80.
In the fourth one, which one you are saying?
Ma'am, fourth one. In the second bit only fourth one.
Second bit, fourth one. And which angle?
Yes, ma'am, X will be 100 and Y will be 80.
X will be 100. Very good. Y will be 80 because they are opposite, no?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
same way, if you extend this line, so angle made by this transversal, these two are parallel sides. Okay, so these are alternate interior angles. If this is 80, then this angle will also be 80.
Ma'am, can you explain second but fifth one?
Yes, I'm doing that. Okay, so if you see this last one, you can see this is again a parallelogram. This angle is 112. So Charantesh, tell me what is angle Y then?
Ma'am, even Y angle is 112.
112. Very good. Okay. And if this angle is given to you 40, so I said if I extend these two lines and they are cut by a transversal like this, so that means these angles are equal.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Who's this?
Ma'am, last year, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm still not clear how to find the angle, ma'am. This question, I'm not so clear.
Angle 1, which angle, which question are you talking about?
Like any question, I'm not so clear how to.
Have you gone
with
through
the
the
calculator.
properties of quadrilateral parallelogram?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just now I just said, no, yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
the properties here. The adjacent angles
Yes.
in a parallelogram are supplementary. Supplementary means that if you take the sum of the adjacent angles in a parallelogram, they are supplementary. Sum means the total of this, they make 180 degrees. This much part you understood? Yes, Lasya?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, so same thing is applied here. Okay, so same thing is
Ma'am,
applied.
so we need to just take a protractor and we need to measure and we need to write the remaining
No, dear, you don't need any protector. Did I take any protector to explain all this?
No,
No.
ma'am.
So I just made use of the properties. Okay.
Yes.
This angle is given 100, then the opposite angle is also 100. This is the basic property of a parallelogram. I had told you to go through the properties at the end of the chapter, the very beginning of the chapter when we studied. I had given you this for homework to learn the properties. Is it? Opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, diagonals bisect one another. Is it?
Yes.
These are some basic properties, and some extra properties are given in the chapter itself. Okay, that
Yes,
sum of adjacent angles is 180. All that is given inside the chapter. But these are some very basic properties. You remember? Had you done this homework earlier? Last year?
Yes, ma'am.
So then you should remember this, no? Opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal. It's very well clearly written, opposite angles. Opposite angles means this angle C will be, A will be equal to angle C, angle B will be equal to angle D. Okay. Opposite sides are equal. Side BC will be equal to side AD. Side AD will be equal to side BC. And diagonals are bisecting each other. Bisecting means they are cutting into two equal parts, each other. AC diagonal is cutting BD into two equal parts. Similarly, diagonal BD is cutting AC into two equal parts. Yes? So keep these properties in your mind.
By these properties, we can find the remaining degrees of the angle, right, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm using the same properties, and wherever required, I'm using some properties of parallel lines which you have studied in your 7th class. Okay, the angle,
Yes, ma'am.
the properties made by a transversal line when it cuts the parallel lines. I hope you all remember the class 7th parallel line concept. How many of you remember this? Corresponding angles, interior angles. Huh? Yes, how many of you? Gaganna, Charan Page, what about others? See how these properties are used here, is it? So please go, those who don't remember, please just go through your class 7th book once, okay? Just do a recap of the parallel lines chapter, okay?
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, in the fifth one of the second question,
yes,
x is 40.
X is, just a second, yes, X is, no, this is 40, no? So this will be, see, this is actually, I'm making a transversal here. Sorry, these are two parallel lines and these are cut by a transversal. So
Yeah.
angle, yes. So this angle X will be equal to angle Z. So if angle this is 40 degrees, but this is not making with the baseline here. We have to see the baseline angle here. Okay. So we cannot say that this angle is
40 degrees.
so this, because this has to be a base angle. So if I extend, one second, if I extend this line, because this angle is a baseline with this, yes? If I
Yes.
extend this line and I extend this line, but this angle is making a base with this and this. So here now I can see, okay, if I have extended this line, and this line. Okay, so this is making angle 40 degree with this, and this is the transversal which is cutting the line. So I can see this angle is 40 degrees. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Yeah.
See that, no? This is making 40-degree angle with the baseline. And
Ma'am, instead of this, can we just do, because the adjacent angles of a parallelogram, see,
adjacent angles of a
adjacent
parallelogram.
angles of a, sorry, adjacent angles of a quadrilateral is equal to
That's easier.
180.
Yes, absolutely. That's much easier. Okay,
So
so
can I subtract 112
yes,
and then divided by 2?
yes. So 112 plus 40 plus Z will give you 180. That's much easier. Okay, instead of going with this. Okay, so that's 180 minus, what is the total of this?
152.
152. So if you subtract 180 and 152, what do you get here? So that's 30, that's 28 degrees.
Okay, ma'am.
So it's this one is easy, better. Okay. So this angle X and angle Z are 28 degrees. Okay. So no need of this making this parallel lines. Okay, is that clear now, Charan Page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what else? You were saying some more questions were there.
Ma'am, third bit. Ma'am, 10th one, ma'am.
10th.
Yes, ma'am.
All parts.
Yes, ma'am. All
Explain
parts.
how this figure is a trapezium. Which of its two sides are parallel? Which figure is a trapezium? How this figure is a trapezium? It's written. See, the properties of trapezium, I said there are one set of parallel lines. Is it? Yes. And what else we studied on the about the property of a trapezium? It's a parallelogram, so of course adjacent angles have to be equal. It's a quadrilateral. Okay, so if we can see here, it's clearly written here, 180, that's 180. Okay. Okay, so these are the two parallel lines. If these are the two parallel lines, the same transversal property applies here. The alternate interior angles on the same side of the transversal, okay, are supplementary. So that's supplementary here. And how can I say that the figure is a trapezium? Because if the interior angles are supplementary, that means the lines are parallel. And if one pair of line is parallel, then I can say that this figure is a trapezium. Yes?
Ma'am, so K will be 80 and N will be 100.
No, here in this case, angles are not asked. Angles are given actually here. Using this property, you have to show whether this is a trapezium or not. So
Okay, ma'am.
I can see that if I extend these two lines and this is a transversal which is cutting the lines like this, no? Transversal which is cutting the lines. I can see that the sum of interior angles in a transversal are supplementary. This is the property you have studied about parallel lines. So
Ma'am?
this is supplementary.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
1 second, when they are supplementary, this shows that the lines are parallel. Okay, and when there is one set of parallel lines, then I can say that this figure is a trapezium. Yes, ask now.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, this one is this 10th question is like same the before question, like second question, ma'am. But the angle we need to use is different.
This question is not like the previous one, beta, because in this we are not asked to find any of the angles. The angles are given to us. We just have to say, we just have to find out whether it is a trapezium or not.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
So the property of the trapezium is that one pair of sides are parallel. Okay.
Okay.
So how
Yes.
can the lines be parallel? If I say that the interior opposite angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. This was the property of parallel lines. If the interior angles are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. And of course, this is showing the same. Interior angles are supplementary. Their sum total is 180. And this
Yes.
shows that the lines are parallel. And hence, it is a trapezium. Okay?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, which of its two sides are parallel? Okay, two sides are MM is parallel to KM. Okay, these are the two parallel sides. Okay, now this is figure 3.27. Okay, this is for next question. Okay, which other question? Yes, Charan Tej, which other question?
Ma'am, can you explain the other two also?
See, in this question, question number 11, find measure of angle C. You have to find the measure.
No, ma'am, not question number 11.
11 only I'm saying. No? This is 11.
Oh, okay, fine.
Find measure of angle C in the figure if AB is parallel to DC. It's already given here that AB is parallel to DC. Okay. Right. And you have to find measure of angle C. So if we say AB is parallel to DC, that means these are two parallel lines which are being cut by a transversal line like this. Is it? Two parallel lines cut by a transversal. I can say that the sum of interior angles are supplementary. Sum of interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So if this is 120, then that means this should be
60.
180 minus 120, that is 60 degrees.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now showing you the 12th question. Find the measure of angle P. This is the measure of angle P and angle. Find the measure of angle P and S you have to find. If SP is parallel to RQ, okay, these two sides are the parallel sides.
Ma'am, so S is 90 degrees and P is 50 degrees, right?
S is R is already given here. This is 90 shown here. Okay. And this is, if this is 90, then this will also be 90. Right?
Yeah.
130, then this will be 50.
Ma'am, but when adjacent angles add up to 180, P.
This is trapezium, bache.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
This is a
Okay.
trapezium shape. Okay.
Okay.
For trapezium, we cannot say that. Right? Okay. Any more?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
third one.
Ma'am, so in 10th one in figure 3.28, UR is parallel to PS.
Ma'am, can you explain third one?
Hello? Yes?
Ma'am, can you explain third bit?
Third, which one? Which third question? This one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can a quadrilateral ABCD be a parallelogram if B plus B is 180 degrees? Okay. Just make a rough figure of the parallelogram in your notebooks. Okay. Just make a rough figure like that. Please make a rough figure. Okay. A, B, C, and D. Right? Yes, please name the quadrilateral, name the parallelogram. Okay, it's given, can a quadrilateral ABCD be a parallelogram if angle D plus angle B, that means these two angles are 180 degrees. See, in this we know that in parallelogram, the adjacent angle, sum of adjacent angles is 180 degrees, and the opposite angles are equal actually, right? But if we talk about, in this case, if we talk about a rectangular shape, see, a rectangle is also a parallelogram. That means if in a rectangle, the opposite angles are 90 and 90. They are equal, is it? And moreover, there's sum. If I take this A, B, and C, D, so that means I can say D plus B can be 180. Is it? Rectangle is also a parallelogram, no? Because opposite pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel, pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel. Right? So rectangle is a special kind of a parallelogram. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
It holds some of the properties of a parallelogram. So this can be possible, okay? But not always. In case of rectangle, it's there, but not always. It can be possible. Okay? But in this case, you cannot say that because here the angle is obtuse, here also the angle is obtuse. So two obtuse angles cannot be there. No? How can two obtuse angles make linear pair 180? Can any two obtuse angles make 180 degrees? No, no. There should, to make 180 degrees, there should be one obtuse and one acute angle. That both angles cannot be obtuse. No? So these are two obtuse angles. So that means in this case, it is not possible. But if you take it as, you know, if all angles are 90 degrees here, then you can say that B plus D can be 90 plus 90 can be 180. Okay, so it's only in some special cases, not always. Yes, you understood now, Gaganna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now,
Ma'am, can you explain the second bit of the third question, please?
okay, that is AB equals to CD. Now, just look at the same figure, parallelogram. AB is equal to DC. Okay, these two sides are 8 centimeters. And A is this side, AD is 4 centimeters and BC is 4.4 centimeters. So this is not possible because in parallelogram we know that opposite sides are parallel also and they are equal also. So if the opposite sides 8 and 8 are of course equal, but 4 and 4.4 are not equal, no? So this is
Okay, ma'am.
not a parallelogram at all. Okay, strictly not. Now the third one is angle A is 70 degree given, okay, and angle C is 65 degrees given, okay. We know that opposite angles in a parallelogram are always equal, is it? Opposite angles are equal, चाहे वो rectangle है या this parallelogram, okay, opposite angles are equal. So 70 plus 65, they are of both different angles, so not possible in this case also. Okay. Yes, understood that.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, can you explain the homework which you give, ma'am? Like two regular polygons are such that ratio between the number of sides is 1:2, and that question is there.
Which question? See again.
Two regular polygons are such that the ratio between their number of sides is 1:2, and ratio of measures of their interior angles is 3:4. Find the number of sides of each polygon, ma'am.
Okay. See, we had done this part of the chapter. This. If you remember something, where is that exercise gone? We had done, no? N minus 2 into 180 degree. We were finding the sides of a polygon. Yes, children?
Ma'am, it's
remember we were
3.2.
You remember, no, that we were doing n minus 2 into 180, finding the sides of a polygon. You remember this?
Yes, ma'am.
Which exercise was that? That day we were doing. Which exercise is that? You said 3.2. So 3.2 is this. इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं.
Ma'am, you gave questions on your own actually, not from this textbook.
Okay. Okay, so we have to make the use of that property n minus 2 into 180 degrees. So I'll explain you how did we do. It is a lengthy calculation in that. I just gave you, but then I realized I thought maybe you will be able to do or not. Chalo, let's see. What's the time? Your class started at 5.
30, ma'am.
30.
It's the time is 6:10 already. Okay, so this
Ma'am,
was your page, no? This is a lengthy calculation. It will take some time. Okay, I'll show you definitely. Yes, Pranav.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Pranav.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
I'll post the answer in the group. Okay, I'll write down. I'll post it in the group also, and I'll explain also in the. When do we meet next? When is the next class? That is next Monday now. Okay, that
Monday, ma'am.
next Monday will be too late. So never mind, we will discuss in next Monday's class. But by the time, so as to, you know, satisfy your curiosity, I will put the answer in the group. Okay? Is that okay?
ma'am.
Yes, children, is that okay to all? And
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
for the explanation part, then we will take up in the next class. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
ma'am, I got the answer as one side is 5 and other side is 10.
Yes, the answer is 5 and 10. I'll give you the answer. You can even try. Answer will be 5 and 10. Okay, one polygon has 5-sided polygon, another polygon is a 10-sided polygon. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Charanjit, your answer is correct. Okay, children, we'll discuss it. I'll post the answer in the group. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, thank you, children, for today's class. Please study for your Sunday test. What is your Sunday test syllabus? Have you seen the syllabus?
Yes, ma'am.
No one has seen. What is the syllabus for this test? Which chapter is there? Quadrilaterals?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So see, no? That's quadrilaterals, no? Yes, that's quadrilaterals only. Okay? So please prepare it thoroughly and I'll send you the answer for this. Okay? So children, thank you for now. Bye-bye.
You said that there is some PTM, no, ma'am.
What happened?
PTM, you said that there is some PTM, no, PTM.
PTM is on Saturday.
Okay,
Okay?
ma'am.
PTM is on Saturday. You can check out the time. I think it's 6 o'clock.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. 6 p.m. Ma'am, will we get the link like normally how we get for joining the class?
You will be told, you will be given the link to join. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. They have
Okay.
given the link like in the WhatsApp, ma'am. We will get like the 8th class this 8th is 24-25 joint live like that only we'll get, ma'am, or separate to you if we have something.
See, every parent will be joining separately. No? How can teacher talk with all parents in one shot? No? It will be 1-to-1. Okay? So 1 by 1, each person will be interacting.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Like offline parent teacher meeting.
Like offline. Okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta. Thank you so much. Thank you, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, Bichin.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye, beta.